Okay, thank you, Matteo. And I will present to you the results of the MAP preventive trial that look at the effect of DHA supplementation and our multi-domain intervention on functional decline in older adults. The next slide. I need to go. The study was mostly funded by the Ministry of Health from France and from research grant for Pierre laboratories that provide the DHA. The MAP trial is a randomized placebo-controlled study on 1,680 subjects, more than 70-year-old, living in the community. The inclusion criteria was to have memory complaint to the primary care physician, or frailty, or some frailty with a slow gait speed or some difficulty for instrumental activity daily living. We exclude those with dementia. It is a 2-year intervention study plus a 2-year observational study. As you can see here, the population was randomized in 4 groups: a group with placebo for 36 months, a group with DHA, 800 milligram of DHA and 215 milligram of EPA for 2 years, and a group with placebo plus multi-domain intervention, and a group with omega-3 plus multi-domain intervention. The multi-domain intervention include 2 sessions the first month, 2 sessions by week the first month, 1 session by week the second month, and after 1 session by month during the study period. The primary outcome is a composite score for cognition. It's a composite score that is recognized now by the FDA and the European Medical Agency. That could be a primary criteria for preventive trial, and that has been shown to be related to develop dementia if we still follow the population. The secondary criteria are SPPB, gait speed, and we have done brain MRI, DEXA, and PET scan in the subgroup of this population. The compound is from fish oil, DHA EPA at a ratio 4:1 with 800 milligram of DHA and 250 milligram of EPA. And you know the rationale of DHA and EPA on inflammation, and not only on the brain, but also on the muscle. The multi-domain intervention include yearly preventive clinic assessment, cognitive training on reasoning and mnemonic technique. The cognitive training was very strong, and physical training. The physical training was mostly aerobic. We asked to the participant to walk 30 minutes by day, 5 days a week, and nutrition education. For the statistical analysis, we have used mixed model, repeat measurement, and the plan analysis was to compare each intervention group to the placebo group. You can see here the flow chart of the population, and as you can see, it's possible to do this kind of long preventive trial. We were able to follow the population, and we have a few dropout, 22% of dropout after 2 years, and the number of dropout was the same in each group of the trial. If we look at the demographic baseline, the age was 75.5, 60% women. Many of the participants, like in most of the preventive trial, have high education level, near 30% went to the college. 44% were pre-frail or frail. The SPPB was about 10, and the gait speed 1.9. The compliance was good for the multi-domain, around 70%, and for the pill, 84%. If we look at the MAP result, first, the primary outcome is a cognitive score. You have in black the placebo, in red the omega-3 alone. You have in green the multi-domain intervention, and you have in blue the multi-domain plus omega-3. It will be the same color for all the slides. And we can see here some effect of the multi-domain intervention, but no effect on the omega-3 in the whole population. You have to note that the change of the cognitive score is around 0.07 in the whole population. When we look at the other secondary outcome, with the gait speed and SPPB, you can see here that we don't have any difference between the 4 groups. You can see the decrease of the gate speed, that is around 0.10. We were surprised to see in this quite healthy population so significant decrease of the gate speed over a 36-month period. And the MAP study will give to us some study on placebo. We have older people, more than 70-year-olds, that took placebo for 36 months, and that will be very helpful to design further preventive trial, because as you know, when we translate epidemiological data to intervention and drug trial, is very difficult because it's not the same patients that accept to go to drug trial or to epidemiological study. And here for the SPPB, you can see also that we don't have any difference in our study for the SPPB, and you can see the decline also in the placebo group over time. Concerning change in physical activity, we were able to increase physical activity measured by the Fried criteria in the two groups that received the multi-domain intervention versus the group with placebo in black and the group with omega-3 alone in red. Also concerning omega-3, we were able to increase the rate of omega-3 in the red blood cell, as you can see in the two groups that receive omega-3 alone in red and omega-3 plus multi-domain intervention in blue. If we look at the MAP subgroup analysis, we have looked at those that have a mild cognitive impairment, that was almost 45% of the population, and in those that were pre-frail or frail. First, in those that have mild cognitive impairment, you can see in black that the decrease of the placebo is much more important in the cognitive score, is 0.20 versus 0.07 for the whole population. And you can see here some effect of the multi-domain intervention plus omega-3 in blue that is statistically significant. When we look at the subgroup that have a Fried criteria, that is also around near half of the population, you can see again that those that have pre-frail or frail, they have a decline of gait speed, of cognitive function that is more important than the people that don't have frailty. And once again, we see that frailty and cognitive function are related. And when we do a clinical trial with older people that are frail, we must expect to see some cognitive decline, also if they have normal cognition at baseline. And if we look at the biomarker, we have done a DHA EP index in the red blood cell, and we have done also PET floor beta peer to look at amyloid in the brain. Here you see in the subgroup that have the lowest quartile of red blood cell DHA, and as you can see in black, we have one important decrease of the cognitive function, almost the same that in older adults with MCI, around 0.20 at the cognitive composite score. And you can see that it seems that the omega-3 alone seem to postpone this decline of cognitive function that we observe in the placebo group. And now we are planning to do a MAP2 study to target this older adult with low red blood cell DHA. And if we look also at gait speed, we were surprised also to see that those that have low red blood cell DHA have more decline in gait speed. As you can see, the decline in gait speed was less 0.16 versus only less 0.06 in those that have normal DHA. We are not able to see here a significant effect of DHA like we were able to see for cognitive function, but it seems that to have a low red blood cell DHA is a risk factor, is a marker or risk factor not only to have more cognitive decline, but to have more gait speed decline, and the same for the SPPB. We have done PET floor beta peer to look at amyloid in the brain in 279 subjects. And as you can see here, for the cognition in black, the subgroup that have amyloid in the brain have a much more pronounced cognitive decline, that is 0.40 at the cognitive score. And you can see here the impact of the multi-domain intervention plus omega-3. And we have tried to look at the change of gait speed in those that are amyloid positive, and we were surprised to observe in our population that at 36 months, it seems that we have less change in gait speed in those that have amyloid in the brain than in those that have no amyloid in the brain. At this time, we are not able to understand this result. We need to do more analysis to try to better understand this result. In conclusion, the MAP trial brings new data with a clear long-term effect of the multi-domain intervention over the 2-year period on cognition, but not on gait speed, SPPB, and frailty. Mapped impact of cognition, DHA plus multi-domain intervention appear to be larger in those with MCI, low DHA status, EPO-E4, and in those with amyloid signature, but must be confirmed by further trial. We have no safety issue with the DHA and EPA, and the MAP clinical and low red blood cell DHA EPA data will contribute deeply to design a trial in the near future, both for cognition and mobility. Probably we will have to have some effect on mobility, more EPA, due to the potential action on the muscle of EPA and on DHA for the brain. We will need to have a longer follow-up and probably more sensitive composite score for mobility, like we have developed for cognition for this early population. And we need to have a stronger physical exercise program. And the MAP brings long-term data on placebo group for gait speed and SPPB in older adults. Thank you for your... I have the last slide that I forget to thank you all the participants for the MAP trial. As you can see, we need to mobilize many people, and I would like to acknowledge especially Professor Jacques Touchon that is in the room, because between Toulouse and Montpellier we were able to recruit 200 people.